My officers and I request asylum in the United States of America.
I'm not going to lock her up in some goddamn
They will give you
asylum.
asylum there. I'm sure they will.
Martin, I can offer you asylum inside this car.
And by law, we're supposed to give him...
Eli, do you know that when I read the insane asylum scene for my family...
And how are the little idiots today?
It's not a lunatic asylum.
Yeah, they'll claim asylum. Say they were persecuted like everybody else.
Believe me, I'll be better off in an asylum.
My officers and I request asylum in the United States of America.
And you better believe me, I am not going to lock her up in some goddamn asylum, right? And I don't...
Try to reach the British Embassy. They will give you asylum there. I'm sure they will. Chang, take my car to the south.
Martin, I can offer you asylum inside this car. Technically, it's part of the consulate.
Okay, he is a political refugee, Ma, and by law, we're supposed to give him an asylum. For Christ's sake.
What does Sam think?
Eli, do you know that when I read the insane asylum scene for my family, you know that my oldest son shook my...
Hello, Scott.
Hello. And how are the little idiots today?
It's not a lunatic asylum.
Is it? I thought it was.
Very funny.
Yes, these must be the lucky ones, huh?
Yeah, they'll claim asylum. Say they were persecuted like everybody else, and we'll send them packing.
A danger to myself. Believe me, I'll be better off in an asylum. So don't.
Ship the Colombians off to asylum hearings, run priors and backgrounds on the Chinese before deporting, and call the parents of those kids.
Peering at us through the cottage window. Rebecca threatened him with the asylum. That's why he was afraid to speak, but he was always hanging about. He must have seen this whole...
An ex-Waffen-SS group commander would like to speak with you about asylum.
His way from Russia to Cuba and then to Ecuador for political asylum.
Moscow airport officials say
Change of location.
He was going to turn me over to them and then seek asylum in the West. A smart man would have no...
Studio. Well, it doesn't, and you won't. And the lunatics are not going to run this particular asylum, so let's put a stop to that rumor.
Mountain went right on cutting the paper. They wanted to send him to an asylum, but his daddy said, no, Radley.
Inside.
Insane asylums are filled with people who think they're Jesus or Satan. Very few have to
Talk about human rights. Carter and his government have given asylum to the worst criminals.
For life?
They will...
Hi, Sandy.
Really?
Did you know that as we speak, Russian scientists are being forcibly detained in insane asylums?
Yeah, well, I'm on a committee for that, you know. Aurora, what is that?
It's a floating asylum for shark fanatics. Pure research, 18 months at sea.
Explain that. Okay. You go to Nairobi. You get into every embassy you can and ask for asylum. You tell them your brother's story.
I had a hard time buying him an election in an insane asylum.
It's very nice of you, thank you.
One way you go to jail, the other way you go straight to the asylum.
And then commit suicide.
Tell me, which lunatic asylum did they get you out of?
We don't know how long he'll stay that way.
I'm not seeking political asylum. It's a few days. It's a vacation. It's true.
What if he gets sick?
No sense, Doctor. Why would he go to the trouble of escaping from one asylum only to enter another?
Find.
Hey, over at his house. It's a lie. He's been in the insane asylum ever since he lost his business. And if you ask me, that's where you belong.
In Spellbound. He comes to take over the mental asylum, and he's nuts himself, I swear it. It's just like that picture.
You don't know what they're like, the state asylums. Grotesque.
There's nothing I'd like more, but if I was to publish them in their present state, I'd be sent to the lunatic asylum.
You don't understand these...